My mother was she's one of my biggest supporters now. But when I first started off in entrepreneurship, she constantly said, why you don't call me? Why you don't come over to the house no more? Why you don't take me out to eat no more? And I had to be comfortable with telling her I can't do it right now. And she looking at me, it's like, she's lost a son. But years later, it makes sense. She can come to my business. We can travel out of town. We can go out to eat. We had this flexibility, this kind of financial freedom that was here now, but it had to be built to get to that level. So it's always a rocky balance.
Did you fear that?
I did. Relationships take a backseat, friends take a backseat, and by nature, we want to make other people happy. By nature, we're people pleasers. But I had to really do a lot of self-reflecting and just kind of ask myself, what matters to Jamie? What keeps me going? And I had to put myself tunnel vision and be willing to deal with the cost and the risk of what that is. So I'm one of those people where with every decision I make, I count up the good, I count up the bad, and I live with it. And it's worked thus far.
Okay. So, now you're 7 years in the business?
7 years in.
7 years in. Give me a quick year by year transition that you made going into the next one.
Honestly, the best way to make that transition is I literally put my head down. And it's 365, but I really need to focus on 24 hours at a time. So I will put January into perspective, what that looks like. Figure out the trends for my industry. Figure out the things that happens every typical January. People rushing to the gym. Everybody loves to work out in January. And kind of figure out what can I do during that time. And I look up, it's February. And I figure out, okay, we got Martin Luther King Day. We got Valentine's Day. Okay, what can I do around these days? What can I do around this time? Boom, okay, get past that. We're in March. All right, we're approaching upon Easter. Come up with these promotions. And as you do that, you start to build a formula for what your years look like. So it's not really a different year. It's just, all right, you've seen this January. You've seen this Valentine's Day. And you look up, this is your third Valentine's Day. You look up again, it's your sixth Valentine in business. And you just build a formula and you just continue to build upon that success.
Okay. So you're getting ready to drop a book right now. Talk to us about what the book entails, and why you actually named the book what you named it.
Absolutely. So the book entails, 10 myths and facts of the fitness industry and just, the health and wellness industry in general. As a trainer, as a fitness enthusiast, I hated reading books or having conversations with individuals and they're like, oh, you shouldn't do this. And I would hear this stuff. And for me to not seem judgmental, I wouldn't say as much. But as I really started looking at the industry, I said, you know what? I gotta, pick one particular area and stick with it. And for me, I kind of want to just bust the bubble of what we look at health and how we look at it. So I want to bring to the industry and bring to the masses of people, fitness facts and myths that we've been living with for years and showing people how to live healthy lives. To lose weight, it's not going to happen overnight. You may feel like you gain weight overnight, but it took a lifestyle. It took an unhealthy lifestyle of you eating, drinking, doing events, social gatherings that got you to a certain weight, size, or image. Take that same formula and flip it for your success. How you drink and how you go out with your family and friends. So all of that is in the book. And I really wanted to show the people that I'm more than just a trainer. When you put a book in place and you put the time and the swag and the research into something, it shows that you're more than just, an advocate for something. It shows that you're an expert at it. And that's something I want to bring, let you know that, okay, I self-taught myself, going through certifications, don't have all these elaborate degrees, but you can still be successful in the health and wellness industry. You can study the greatest minds and get mentored and learn your industry and help other people live a healthy life. They labeled me obese at 11. The doctor told me I was fat. No sugarcoating. You're fat and obese. How does that make an 11-year-old feel? I could have continued to live that life and become a fat adult, like she said. Changed my life, chased after my goals, and here I'm today motivating kids, adults, young women, young men, how to really live their lives at their highest potential.
So, you know, when I first, I don't know, when I was growing up, you know, my father was an entrepreneur. So, you know, by default, I seen what the outcome of an entrepreneur looked like, right? But I didn't know what the everyday struggle, grind, success looked like for an entrepreneur. So, you know, for a young person, 10, 11, 15, you know, what advice do you have for them that don't know that they're an entrepreneur at that age?
The biggest advice I give them is just get around it. You know, we never know how great we can be until we see examples of it. My parents, the only examples they knew were school. Go to school, get a good job so you can get a good career. For myself, as I started to surround myself around entrepreneurs, people that had their own schedules, you know, made their own decisions about money, about health, success, travel, financial freedom, it really opened up my eyes. So if I was 12 years old and don't exactly know what I want to do, 18 years old, 24 years old, get around an entrepreneur. And the best way is to get into an internship. You know, even if it's not a accurate internship, like ask, can you come and sweep? You know, get around and see what goes on really. Corporate America really doesn't show you that. College doesn't show you that. But getting into the atmosphere with an entrepreneur, going to an internship, is going to be the best thing.
When you realize that your account could be 10,000 to the good, and then the following month you scraping to pay your cell phone bill, would you consider that moments of failure?
Originally, yeah. You know, you start to have those moments with yourself, like, how did I get here? You know, you feel like you hit the lottery, and then you're like, man, I need help with my cell phone bill. But as I matured and as I continued on with that journey, I started to realize it takes dough to make bread. So if I have all my coins and I put them into perspective investments and bills, and at the end of the month I have nothing left, the fact that I have another month with my doors open, with all my bills cleared, with all my bills being paid, it shows me that I'm right on track. Because if I continue to invest my time, my energy, my sweat equity, my knowledge, and I don't have any money, it's going to break at a certain point. You know, if I keep pouring water at a wall, after a while, that wall is going to break. You know, the soil is going to give out at a certain point. So it is about being consistent. You know, just keep that consistent action, and it's never failure. It's only lessons. You learn how to get a little bit more better with it. In the struggle, sometimes you learn how to rob Peter to pay Paul. It's not the proudest thing to be proud of. However, it teaches you how to stretch a dollar. It teaches you how to pay 3 people with $1 to keep your opportunities going, keep your doors open. And that right there that's something that you're not going to read in the book to know about.
How do you view fear?
False. Evidence appearing real. You know, fear, like I said, I feel like it's a natural instinct. You know, when I do the public speaking, when I'm talking to a crowd of 1,000 people, 10 people, 10,000 people, I can go on stage and that fear could, you know, allow me to be scared to say anything, or I can use that fear and be scared but still push forward. You know, it's the same outcome, it's the same feeling that's there, but it's about what you see in your goals. So it's really you allowing your goals and your dreams to overshadow that fear. Because that feeling is never going to leave.
Never. That's crazy.
When I was a football player, when I was a swimmer, when you get ready to hit that snap, when they blow the gun for the swimming, that fear is crazy, but you use that fear as fuel.